everyone, Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am back with the amazing Janet from RTS second layout in her 4x4 baby round. And after my first layout took so long, this one was really quick. I do have to confess, I did miss out on recording a small section of it because my camera cut out and I didn't even realise, but I will explain to you the bits that I missed coming up. Again, this is pretty much an identical scrap leaf to Janet's, so if you have seen hers already, this is like same but different. So hopefully you don't mind watching it again. If you haven't seen Janet's, go and check it out because she's awesome. And you will see how closely I have copied hers. So this is the grid layout. The black cross paper is just an extra piece of pattern paper I pulled from my stash for this. I gutted it. So there is the black border is the same paper as the black crosses in the center, if that makes sense. And then there's an entire piece of white paper in between. So a gutted black piece, white paper, and then the inside black piece on top. So just 2 bits of pattern paper to make that, if that makes sense. I hope that made sense. These cards are all 3x4 cards. I had them pre-cut and I had planned in my head how I wanted them to go, and now I've forgotten. So I'm just having a fiddle with the design that I like best and how, it makes me think of Cuddies, that I like best. So sorry, if you're not an Aussie, you'll have no idea what I was just singing. Dear me. So that is the layout I like. You can see that I wrapped. Oh my goodness, I'm moving so fast I can't even keep up with my dialogue here. I loosely wrapped some twine around a 3x4 card. So right now I'm doing that for real. And so what I did was I put a strip of score tape on the back. I am then wrapping the ribbon around or the twine around a few times, and then I'm tying a bow on the front. Now you've got 2 choices with your bow. You could just add a separate bow and like you could have your start and finish of the wraparound twine be on the back and then just tie a bow on the front using a whole nother piece of thread. I didn't do it that way. I tied my bow using the existing thread. There's no right or wrong way, just whatever is the easiest way or the nicest looking way for you. This is twine from Kaiser Craft Lucky Dip collection, and it is a little bit plasticky in feel, so not cotton. So I will put a little flame on the end of it just to stop it from fraying and unraveling. In the meantime, it's actually sitting at the top of my page there, of my desk, that you can't see. And I just put a little dab of glue on the back of the bow that I tied, and I've just put the glue bottle on top of it, weighting it down just to leave that dry while I move on to something else. And this something else is I pulled my next 3x4 card and I'm cutting that into 1/4 inch strips, and I'm putting them, as you can see there, I'm just laying them loosely on top of another plain white 3x4 card. So I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm working on top of my existing work. It must be really hard for you to see, but hopefully you're getting a bit of the idea there that I've got a white 3x4 card and then the strips I cut, I'm putting that on top. And so I've just got my little paper distresser here, and I'm distressing the top and bottom edge. No, I'm not. I'm distressing just the top edge of this piece. The ones, so because this is the first or the last page, the last piece, I'm only distressing the top edge because that's sort of in the middle. So I'm leaving the edge. Oh, it is so hard to explain. I really don't have words today. I want the outside edge to be smooth, so the whole way around the edge to be completely smooth. So I'm only distressing the bits that are on the inside. So the first 1/4 inch strip, I only distress the inside section On all the other edges, I distress the top and the bottom because they are inside. I really hope that made sense. And then I glue them all on and then make just like a really nice textured card, which you can see there. So I'm now putting some ribbon down along the bottom. You can see my 2 photos as well, by the way, a little beach day there with the boys. I was just having a play with what different ribbon I could use, and then remembered there was this cardboardy type one, craft paper one as well that was cute, so I wanted to incorporate that instead. So I glue those on. I use glue for the craft paper one, and I use score tape for the ribbon. I don't think I do that on screen because I think I was fiddling around so much that I do it off screen. So that's all stuck down. The base cards are all stuck down. So everything on my page now has been stuck, and I'm moving on to the next decoration. And so this time I am using the watermelon paper. And I'm going to cut as many circles as I can out of that watermelon paper. I'm just using my diamond press and the dies that came with my diamond press. Not a clue what size they are. Small, little ones. I'm just going to run that through my diamond press. And as I said, pretty much as many as I can fit. So quite a few. You wouldn't need to have this many. I just decided I wasn't sure how many I wanted, so I would. And you can sort of see already that I'm just plonking those on top of that watermelon paper. So it's like watermelons on top of watermelons, but they don't match up. I haven't done it like a puzzle. They're odd bits on top. And that's just going to add a bit of a broken up, funny, textured, different patterned look to that paper, just to give it something interesting to look at. So I don't need to over embellish the page because the pattern paper is going to be the sort of feature there. So there they are all cut out, and I'm going to stick some flat on the page using score tape, and I'm going to pop some up on the page using foam tape. So I don't show you the entire process. There are definitely some close-up pictures at the end, so you'll be able to see a little bit better the different textures and the different techniques that have been used on each of the cards. So once this watermelon one is done, I actually lose the footage on my camera. Well, I don't lose it. I run out of storage, so it stops recording. So I will explain. I'll show you a picture and I will explain with words what I do with the other ones. These are the Love Always Wood Veneer. As I said in my other video, everything I am using came in my February Kitaholics kit. So even though this is not strictly speaking the 4for4 kit as Janet would have made it up, it is a pre-made kit, or it is an actual kit that I purchased from Kitaholics Kits for the month of February. So those are where my 3 basic clusters are going to go. So there's going to be a wood veneer in each one. And then there's a whole bunch of the Dear Lizzie die cuts that I'm going to use to create a few more clusters. I'm going to get those sunglasses on because we're at the beach and they are perfect. So I'm just sitting those there because I know that they're going to be used. You may have noticed that happy wood veneer is broken. No big deal. I'm going to glue it on with the glue anyway. It's going to be fine. Sticking my photos on with foam so that I can pop that happy in underneath, because I don't want the happy on top. I want it underneath. Yep, they're going to go like that. So I'm going to stick those down. 1 and 2. I don't particularly love that bottom pattern paper, the last square there where I've just stuck the photo over, but the colours are good. The colours tie in well, so that's why I used it actually behind the photo, because then you still get that little pop of colour, but I don't particularly love the design, so you don't see too much of it. So now I glue on this happy and then I lose the footage. So coming up is the bottom left hand corner pink card, and what I do with that 3x4 card. I pull out my edge punch and I punch out 7 edges, and I just alternate sticking them flat to the page or popping them up with foam. Then this is the top pink one where my title goes, and I'm just showing you there that I used an alpha, that I loved the style of font, but I didn't love the colour, so I just coloured it in with my Sharpie to make it black. So now that I've done all of that, I am ready to organise my last few clusters, and this layout is finished. So unfortunately, yeah, you did miss quite a decent little chunk there, not seeing that edge punched 3x4 card, or not seeing me do the beach day cluster, but it really is really super simple what I did. I literally just coloured the letters in with a Sharpie to change them to black, and then just stuck on 3 things. Nothing. You saw that I had that wood veneer arrow there, and then the green coloured frame and the watermelon and a word phrase. Too easy. So you also saw down this cluster I'm working with now that I wanted the sunglasses. I already had the wood veneer there, so I just pulled this word cluster because it's green, oh happy day, and I really wanted that pop of green happening down in that same spot. So I'm just putting on a few rhinestones, and I do use the same colour, different sized, but the same colour rhinestones in each section. So an orange, because that helps pull the sort of the giraffe around the page a little bit. So 3, 3 and 3. I love me 3 little rhinestone cluster, and I actually pulled that third black one. I decide I don't need that one down there, so I actually pull that off. And I'm done. This is it. So I'm going to pull it up close to the screen for you so that you can see in a bit more detail the 6 different 3x4 cards, just to give you a bit of a better idea about the texture and the patterning that's happening on that layout. And I'm really happy with this. So this was layout number 2 for the 4x4 series. Layout number 3 will be coming up shortly. Definitely check out Janet. She is linked down below. She is amazing, and she's a wonderful, wonderful teacher who actually explains what she's doing and why she's doing it and how it helps with your scrapbooking. So I highly recommend checking her out. I've got some close-ups coming up of this layout because Katie said you can't really see. She thought it looked plain. She said you couldn't really see the texture that was going on from the photo that I originally sent her. So I thought I better have some close-ups on here so you can see that it's not plain, it's really quite exciting. So I hope this gives you an idea of how to jazz up your own grid design layout and not then have to over-embellish, because you're letting the embellished pattern paper do all of the talking for you. And also change your alphas if you're not happy with them. Hey, why stick with what you don't love? Well, thank you everyone for watching. Please stay tuned for number 3 coming up soon.